Now pay close attention. This isn't something you see every day.
All right, welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about the EastMan and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Foot Ninja by NECA. Now, I don't do a whole lot of unboxings on this channel, but today I'm going to, because of the fact that this guy here comes with a plethora of stuff. Plus there is also some great artwork on here, as you can see right in the front of the Foot Ninja themselves. And then turning the box, we have another great looking bit of art of the Foot Ninja, and then the actual figure on the back. But the other thing I wanted to show off was this cool little thing here that NECA likes to do, is the window packaging that opens up. And here you have a bunch of, let me move this over, of displays, pictures displayed of the character of the figure on the side here, the figure itself in the box, and then as you can see, EastMan and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Foot Ninja, and then you have a picture of the Foot Ninja down here at the bottom. So let's get this guy out of the box and let's have a look. Okay, so now that we got this guy out of the box, this guy comes with a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff. Now, of course, this being NECA with the figure, there's a few things that I think that they should change, but that's just my opinion when it comes to these figures. Like, they should have some articulation when it comes to the torso. That way you can get them in like crouching positions and stuff like that. But it's NECA, that's the way they do things, so which therefore, you know, it is what it is. That's what you expect, right, when you get them. But anyway, let's take a look at this guy. So I like the way they've done this comic book look for this foot soldier. The tassels hanging off the back of his head wrap here. I love the red eyes. And of course you have the shading, and then the outfit itself with the wraps. And of course it's just all this kind of like purplish blue color that's on him. Now, his articulation, his arms, yes, they can move out to this, to make a T pose out about that far. Bicep swivel, he has double jointed elbows, okay, which mine actually moved pretty smooth. Wrist swivel and wrist bend. Then when you get down here to the torso, he just has a waist swivel, but no ab crunch whatsoever. That's my pet peeve with that. As far as head tilt, he can tilt at the head. He can look side to side. He can look up only that much, which he should be able to look up even further, and then he can look down about that far. Those are the simple little things that I think that they could actually tweak a little bit and make a little bit better, but that's just my opinion. As far as his legs kicking out, now this is hindering it a little bit, but his legs can kick out this far. I mean, he's a ninja, he should be able to kick out a lot further. He can almost do the splits. He has himself an upper thigh swivel, and then of course he has his double jointed knees. He has a boot swivel, and then of course his ankle articulation, which his foot moves forward, back, then you have the rocker, and then of course you have the foot tilt, or the toe tilt, I should say. Now, because this is a ninja figure, just like with Shredder, yeah, I mean, look, he's a cool figure. He's great for your collection if you don't have a foot soldier, you know, or a foot ninja, I should say. Because I think when they become automatons, that's when they become foot soldiers, or that was changed for the actual cartoon, that they were called soldiers instead of ninja. But anyway, yeah, I think that he should have better articulation when it comes to certain things, as far as like the ab crunch and being able to kick out a little further, because face it, he is a foot ninja. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of rambling and stuff like that, because he comes with a whole lot of accessories, so I'm going to go through these pretty quick, and then you know, I'll show a couple of them off, because he does have a lot of stuff. All right, so let's get started with the accessories. Starting off, he comes with this robe and belt. Next we have a open palmed set of claw hands. Next we have a fist claw hands. Next we have a set of arrow holding hands. Next we have a gripping hand and a fist. And over here you have a gripping hand and a fist that are already on the figure, because that's how he comes. And last but not least, in the hand department, we have a gun holding hand or a trigger holding hand. Next, we have a shuriken or a throwing star. This guy comes with 4 of these. Next, we have his Uzi. Next, we have a broadsword and a katana. Next, we have his spear staff, which one end has a trident on it and the other side has the actual spear. Next, we have a kama dagger. Next, we have a regular dagger and then a curved dagger, and of course it has like a mace hilt at the end. Pretty cool. Next, we have a giant silver throwing star. Next, we have a longer type of broadsword. Next, we have his chained weapon, which I always thought these were pretty cool to see these in the comic. I can't remember the actual name for them, so I'm going to call it a kunai. But he has the mace on one end and then he has the blade on the other. Next, we have his scabbard or his sheath for his katana. And this is soft plastic right here for the strap, so that's actually pretty cool. And then if you actually grab the katana, you can just slide this bad boy right in here, and there you go. So that's actually really cool. Next, we have this little collar piece. It's like the hood has been pulled down. It goes on with that Komodo, or just, you know, you can have that body with this on and then just have the sparring head on there, which I'll show off in a second. Next, we have his bow, and this I thought was really cool addition to the figure. So we have a bow and they did put a string on it, so that's cool. They put a little hole up here and then tied it around for this long bow. I think this was really cool to add to the figure. Really cool. Most figures that you get that are a bow, either this is made of plastic, but they never really put a string on it because, you know, you'll shoot your eye out, you'll shoot your eye out. Next, we have his arrow, and also with this, I mean, you know, you have the arrowhead, then you have the finches on the back, and the cool thing is they put a knock on there so you can actually put it into the string. NECA thought of everything when they did this figure. He does come with a quiver to hold those arrows. So once again, this is soft plastic to slide over the figure, and then you just take the arrow and you just drop it. Now he comes with 4 arrows. I forgot to mention that, but they will fit inside the quiver here. So you put the extra arrows you're not using in the quiver, and then the other one you can have on the bow if you're gonna have them, you know, pulling back an arrow or getting ready to shoot an arrow, or even if you're just putting that bow across his chest. Either way, you still have a cool quiver right here. Next, we have the alternate foot ninja head, and it has some cell shading or just shading on the head itself with those big red eyes of the foot ninja. Really cool. I like the way they did this. This is just to make him a regular ninja. That one is, I think he's, because that's for I think that's because he is the arrow ninja, or he's like a captain. I don't know which, but either way, it doesn't matter. You can swap the head for a different look. Last but not least, we have his training head. So this is cool. He has a training mask on his face. You can see the detail of the character underneath, so you can actually tell that he's actually a human. Got a nice little, you know, the hair, the straps going around the back of the head, and then you have this strap here, which is soft because that's, you know, going to go around where the neck is. But otherwise, it's just another look for the foot ninja. So now that we've taken a look at all of this guy's accessories, let's see how they actually look on him, because I mean, you know, I went through all those accessories to show him off, so let's see how they actually look on the figure himself. So let's start by using his katana. And you're probably gonna have to take the head off because it's not gonna reach around. So you're gonna have to probably put his arm up, because as you can see, it's not going to allow. So let me just pop his head off. And let's see if we can get this on here. Yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's put pop his head back on. Yeah, he's looking good. And then let's see how he looks with this weapon here. Now the hands, you're probably gonna have to grab and kind of stretch them out a little bit to get this to fit, or you're gonna end up crushing his fingers, which usually ends up happening. That's why I usually do this off camera, because it can be a little hard to do while you're trying to do it on camera. There we go. Yeah, see that? There we go. All right, so now I got the thumb in there, the hand, he's actually gripping it correctly. You definitely want to kind of stretch these out just a little bit, just to get that little bit of an opening so you can actually squeeze the hand. I mean, you know, get the actual weapon in his hand because they are stiff. There we go, that one rolled right in. Right in. So there you go. Straighten this out a little bit. And here you go. There he is holding this weapon here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. It looks good. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty good. Hold it. I like the fact that it has real chain on it. So yeah, I mean the weapons, you know, they go on him pretty well. You know, I can't complain. I mean, any which way you're gonna choose to pose this guy, you have a lot of options. And I mean a lot of options. All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna pull that off of him and then we're gonna come right back and we're gonna have something new to put in his hands. All right, so let's try a couple more weapons and then we'll get into the comparison with this guy. So just real quick, I mean, you wanna load him up. You wanna take his bow. You can just slide it right over him just like that. Get the tassels out of the way. There you go, now you have the bow on him. And that looks pretty cool. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's try this staff right here. Let's try the staff. So you have the bow on him, you have his katana on him. This you could just kind of slide in there a little bit. Once again, stretch the fingers out a little bit. So you have it. And then kind of work this in here. So that way you have this. And there you go. And he can hold the staff in his hand. So I think that's pretty cool. Now you have him holding even more weapons. I mean, this guy is crazy. I mean, he has a whole lot of stuff that you can actually do with him, which is really cool. And like I said, I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff that this guy comes with. Let's see. Let's take out his this hand here. Let's take the bow off of him. Just move the tassel out of the way. Just be careful you don't snap the string, that's all. The bow off of him. You can leave him with his katana. Let's see, so I put his trigger finger hand on. Let's fit the gun in here, which is actually pretty cool. And voila, I mean, look at that. You're gonna have to work this a little bit because of the way they, you know, but there you go. And there he is. So that's actually pretty cool. Foot soldier holding his Uzi. So that's cool. That's really cool. Like all the stuff that he comes with, it fits him really nice. Now, let's see, what did I do with that? Let's get his gripping hand. Actually, you know what? Let's do his bow and arrow. So let's try this. They made it to where he can actually hold the arrow. So now I don't know how good this is gonna look to you guys, but I'm trying here. So get the foot soldier's arm up here. Like I said, everything's a little stiff, but for the most part, let's see. This is supposed to fit in here. Kind of like he's holding it. But I don't know how that's gonna work on this here because of the way. There we go. I don't know if I'm even having that in the camera, I'm not even looking. But the knock does catch the rope. So if you can get this set up, he will hold this, but you just got to get it set up into his fingers. And of course, that doesn't look very healthy right there. But otherwise, I mean, give me a second. I'm gonna try and do this off camera, and then I'll show them off. Give me one quick second. All right, so sorry about that, guys. It just takes a minute because, you know, I don't want to break the arrow or anything like that, or the string. So just, you have to finesse it and finagle it, and I would take up too much time trying to do it on camera because I suck at doing a whole lot of posing. But I just want to show you, and I'm gonna zoom in. He is holding everything on his own. No tape, no tricks, no nothing. The fingers that are curved like this right here actually are holding the string, and the finch is actually in between both fingers, like if he was drawing back on that bow with that arrow on there. So yeah, that's cool stuff, man. That is really cool stuff that NECA was able to incorporate that into this figure. All right, so let me just take this off. See, it just rests there nice and easy. Move his hand out of the way. All right. And he does come with, oh, and I did change the head. I forgot to tell you that, you know, point that out, that I changed the head. And on top of that, let's do this just real quick, and I'll do one more thing, and then we'll do some comparisons and end this review. So let's pop on his claw hands, which I always thought was really cool when I was reading the comics that these guys had these, that they incorporated and drew them on there. You just pop them in, and then there you go. Now you have your foot soldier with these clawed hands. Now mine are a little stiff as far as movement wise, so just be careful. You might want to break them in before, unlike me who didn't before I started doing this review, because I actually just opened them up with you guys on camera right here doing this review. Just opened them up, never taken them out before. So there you go. Now you have your foot soldier with his claw hands on there, or his foot ninja, I should say, not soldier. But yeah, that's actually really good stuff right there. Really, 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 really good stuff. Now just one other thing I'm gonna do real quick, and I'm gonna do it off camera because it'll just be a lot quicker for me to do it. And that's to put on his Komodo along with his other alternate head with the sparring head. And then I'll show him off. We'll do some comparisons and then this review. And here is the foot ninja in his Komodo with a couple other weapons, and he has that collar piece on. And let me tell you something, it takes a second to get him into this thing, but otherwise, I mean, it's cool if you want to display him like that. I won't be displaying him like this, but hey man, it's your foot ninja. You can display him however you want. One more thing I just want to show off real quick, and that is him with this head and just a collar and just his regular, you know, ninja uniform. And I'll put a couple different weapons in his hand, and then we'll get into comparisons. All right, so now that I see him together with the hood down and that, you know, the sparring mask on and a couple other weapons in his hands, and, you know, he's just in the ninja uniform, I think that's actually pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool. It's a great addition that they've added to the character to give it just a little bit more flavor. And I understand why NECA did it. And yeah, it works. It works a lot. But yeah, that's definitely you have a lot of options with this guy. And so many options. You know, it's hard to choose on how you want, or you can display him one way and then later on change it and display him another. All right, so enough of my rambling. Let's get into some comparisons on a couple figures that I have out with this guy, and that'll be it. All right, so here's how he compares to Leonardo from the TMNT Jim Lawson's 4-pack by NECA. And here's how he compares to the TMNT damaged version of Shredder by NECA as well. All right, guys, so in conclusion, is this guy worth picking up? Absolutely, especially if you are a TMNT fan and you need yourself a foot ninja or two or whatever, as many as you can get, but they do come with a lot of stuff. And it's well worth it. Definitely well worth it. There are some heres and theres, but that's how NECA rolls, right? They don't do a whole lot of articulation when it comes to the torso, and when it comes to looking up and looking down when it comes to head articulation as well. But I mean, look, You want to have yourself a foot ninja to go with Shredder or your damage Shredder or just Turtles or whatever the case is. You have him. Here he is. You can pose him on the shelf, put him however you want. You can put him in battle poses. Are you going to get deep articulation out of him? No. We already know that NECA doesn't do that kind of stuff, which is fine. But what they do is they do put out some beautiful, beautiful figures. And on top of that, do you have some good articulation with them? Yes. Do I wish that they would put a little bit of a torso articulation in there? Absolutely. But that's just my opinion. And you know how opinions are. So guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that I'm putting up. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the flippity flip.